Hello everybody, so we're back on a Wednesday this time. I was delivering a workshop at a school in Stoke-on-Trent yesterday, so yeah, we had to put the session off until today. So I hope that those of you that normally join can still join us, and yeah, we'll just wait for a couple of people to come in. If this is your first time joining, then welcome. Maybe you haven't been able to join us on Tuesdays, but now we've changed the day for 1 week. You can join us. So I'm glad that you could be with us. I'm going to be encouraging you to write a poem, a style of poetry. So over the past, whatever it's been, 14 weeks or so, we've looked at a different style of poetry pretty much each week. We've looked at styles of poetry from America, France, Italy, Britain, Ireland, Japan, China. Today we're going to look at a form of poetry from Spain that originated in Spain. So should be good. The last 3 weeks or so, there hasn't been so many rules. I've let you be a little bit more open and free. Today we're going to go back to rules, and you're going to have to follow some rules a little bit today. I like the comments to be as interactive as possible, so any questions that you may have, put them in the comments. If you've got a line that you're particularly proud of, or a phrase, comments, and then by the time we get to the end of the poem, so we'll be writing a 6-line poem. That'll at least be one of the stanzas. If you want to write more stanzas, then you can, but then you can put your poems in as well. Equipment that we'll be needing, yes, hi Freddie and the rest of the gang. So equipment, same as every other week. You'll need pen, pencil, paper, a notepad, laptop, computer, mobile phone, whatever is your preferred writing choice. Hey Cherry. So whatever is your preferred writing choice, then yeah, get involved. If it was me, I know I like to type, because I've got a lot of ideas, and especially when we're working on a short time period. This session will be finishing in 40 minutes, so it'll be the half hour or so that we'll have to do some work. I type as fast as I can think. I write very slow, and I can't read my own handwriting, so I like to type. But maybe you like to write down from hand, and that's great as well. So whatever your preferred choice is, that's great. We've got less than a minute, so we'll just wait until we officially start, and then I'll kick off with a poem. If you've been with us when we've created haiku, we've done tankers, did we do the Fibonacci, when we did the Fibonacci sequence poems, any of the syllable restricted poetry that I know some of you have really enjoyed, that's what we're going to be doing today. We're just going to be doing another type of it. Right, so I'll kick off with a poem, because the theme of this poem will be fairly similar to some of the things that we're talking about today. And in fact, I've changed my mind. I think what I'll do is I'll get you to do your first writing exercise, and then I'll do the poem. And if there's anything in the poem that you think, oh, I'd like to nick that, then you can write it down, and you can use those ideas as well. That's absolutely fine. So first thing I would like you to do, I would like you to write 10-ish, right? So if you're at 7 and I say we're moving on now, don't panic, that's fine, 7's cool. If you get to 10 and we haven't moved on yet, and you can fill it up to 15 words or so, then that's great. The more words you have, the easier it will be to build your poem. Okay, and the first one should be relatively simple. So I want you to write 10-ish weather associated words. Okay, so if you're okay with that, if you're hearing me loud and clear and you understand that, then just hit the thumbs up so I know that everybody's okay with it. All right, so I want you to write 10 words or so associated with the weather. So it might be seasons, might be different types of weather. You might say hurricanes, sunshine, but then you might put, no, in fact, yeah, I won't say any more. We'll do that, and then I'll give you a next instruction in 2 or 3 minutes. Hail, blizzard, calm, peaceful, sunshine, and you could put rays or rays of light. You can even put things like hay fever, colds, things that the weather can affect. Freezing, sunstroke, hot. If and when you get to your 10 words, we've got another minute or so before we just move on anyway, but if when you've got your 10 words, if you give us a thumbs up, then I know we can move on a little bit sooner. 10 or so weather associated words. Hey Rebecca. Oh yeah, it's Wednesday, isn't it? Different day today, so managed to tune in. So just looking for now, Rebecca, 10 weather associated words. So it could be seasons, and snow, blizzard, hurricane, whirlwind. You might know the name of a hurricane as well. When I think of it, I remember Hurricane Katrina. Put that down. You can even just put things like grey clouds, stormy, a depressed sky, summer's day, that sort of stuff. Okay. So when you've got those words, Freddie and the gang are on it, I now want you to write 10 or so emotions. So things that we feel. It doesn't have to be how those sunny days or those winter mornings make you feel. It doesn't have to be anything to do with that. Just emotions in general that people feel. Melancholy, anxious, worried, upset, distressed, delighted, love, passion, passionate, driven, hungry. 2 meanings of the hungry word. Laid back. So just think of maybe all the different people that you know in your life, and think about how would you describe them. Are they stressed? Are they carefree? Are they anxious? Are they thoughtful, considerate? Even just things like this. Looking for types of emotions. Okay, so a couple of minutes on that. Again, give us a thumbs up if you're done before those 2 minutes, and we'll keep it moving. Happy days. Okay, so once you've got your 10-ish emotion words, I then want you to write 10 words associated with your home. So you might just list different rooms in your house. You might list some of the favourite rooms in your house, or the rooms that you spend the most amount of time in. But then you could also associate, could also write words that associate with your house as well, things that you think of to do with your house. Or if you don't want it to be about your house specifically, you can just write words to do with people's houses per se. You might just put words like bedroom, living room. I don't know. Depends how big your house is. Utility room, garden. Bathroom, shower room. Just put a couple of things to do with your house. And you can maybe talk about some of your favourite things in your house. So maybe it's your, I don't know, reclining messy. And yeah, that'd be like my bedroom. Messy. That's a good one. That would be a really good word to use actually, Max, in our poem in a bit. So I know you're writing it down, but just keep the word messy in your thoughts. Maybe you've got different words that you can use to describe different rooms in your house. Because like I say, messy is definitely something you could describe in my bedroom. But then maybe organised is a word we could use to describe the kitchen. So everything's kind of, you want the cutlery, you go into the top drawer. You want some seasoning, you go into the carousel. You want some bowls, go up to the top drawer. Yeah, so it's very organised in the kitchen. It's very messy in the bedroom. Okay, I have 1 more minute, then we'll move on. Okay, so what we're going to do shortly, we're going to write a 6-line poem, or at the very least a 6-line stanza. If you want to write more than one, then you can do. And we're going to imagine that there are different types of weather within our house. Okay, so you might have one style of weather in your living room, and then you might have a totally different piece of weather in your living room, and you may have another different type of weather in your bathroom, and so on and so forth. Okay, so that's the sort of thing we can do. What we can do, if we want to, we can use the weather as a metaphor for the moods and emotions that exist within people's houses. So this doesn't have to be about your house specifically. Can be, but it doesn't have to be. It can just be about the moods and emotions that are in different people's homes in general. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. So that's why I thought I'd perform this poem that I'm going to do now. It's about 3 minutes long, so bear with me. And it's a fictional story But it talks about how a child was a little bit neglected at home, and how he still managed to do well for himself. And I promise it's not about me, because my parents were amazing. But yeah, so if there's anything within this, because it's talking about a home and parents and background and stuff, if there's a word that I say and you think I really like that word, or even if there's a word and you think I don't know what that word means, then scribble those words down, and you can then maybe use them for inspiration in your poem, or you can go and research it if you don't know what it is, and then we can expand our vocabulary as we go along. So this poem is called Turn to Rhyme, and I haven't performed it for donkeys, so I've got the words ready on my phone just in case I forget. A young man had a flashback. He started to track back so that you could be told a little story all about a teenager and when he was naughty. You see, glory is what he wished for, glory is what he dreamed, but he was heading for darkness. Well, that's how it seemed. He screamed on the inside, but had a calm complexion. So confused as to who he was, he never recognised his own reflection. Now neglect is what he detects and protection is what he needed. A word never heard, yet his eyes pleaded. He's number 2 seeded when he should be number 1. Gone from 1 to none by his dad and his mum. He could have been a star that shone. Instead he's cared by no one, except his pen and his paper. And you should see what he comes up with just 1 hour later. He sees talent is raw, but he has the skills and more, so now is the time to focus like Ford. Yet he can't afford to let the chance slip, so he clenches the pen and holds tight with his grip. He's ruled by his lip and his passion to rhyme, and no matter what goes on in his life, that makes everything fine. He can talk his mind without saying a word. He keeps it to himself or be classed by his class as a nerd. I heard he didn't have friends, so he couldn't get close. Didn't take them back to his house, and none of them know what goes on at home. Because even in a crowded room he still feels alone. The only time he feels at home is when he's gripping a microphone. He is in his own zone when he's writing. To escape the way his dad makes him frightened. You mean he put his hands on the kid? As if. See, his dad taught with his fist. His mum found it tough to live. His only gift and role model was YouTube poets. They help change your life, and yet they don't even know that he's about to show the skills that he's learnt, and like a page, he'll take his turn. His turn to burn and blow and shine. He wants to show his skills of rhyme. He tries to bide his time in class. He performs a piece, but a group just laugh. Yet thanks to his past, his mind is strong, just more determined to prove them wrong. So when his heart bleeds, it leaks through the pen, which means he creates a masterpiece again and again. The pen is his friend and the paper he trusts. To get even better, he feels that he must, but what's the rush? He's got the golden touch, the skills, and the chance to use it, so he cuts his words and he pastes to music. He works hard, gets ready to show that final piece. It allows him to blow as time goes by. He leaves school, and now they know him. Psst, I swear that's the kid that used to write them poems. Remember all the people that said he'd be nothing? Well, now they've all got his tune in their head. They're humming. I look who's coming to his performances, front row with the audiences, saying he's sick. He feels like a magician, abracadabra, performing a trick. They walk up to him going, "Yes, bruv, I remember you from school. Is everything live, fam? Yeah, you cool." See, it's funny how a few verses change all perception, but now he knows who he is when he sees his reflection. So turning to rhyme helped change his life, and whatever his past was, he turned out all right. And you can turn life on its head, and that goes to show. You don't allow anything to break you. You gain experience, and you grow. Thanks. So that's that poem. So we shall now crack on to the style that your poem is going to be. So it's going to be a Spanish form of poetry known as a shadorma. Okay, so it's a Shadorma. Okay, and it's a 6-line poem, otherwise known as a sestet. And like I say, it can be the sestet, the 6 lines on its own, and that can be the one poem, or you could have that as one stanza, and you could have an unlimited number of stanzas to contribute to one bigger poem. But if you want to write this down just so you've got it, but if you miss it, don't worry, I'm more than happy to repeat it. So, line 1 will have 3. Yeah, go on. So I was fighting with myself as to whether we was going to start off with some words. Or it doesn't matter anyway. So, line 1, ignore me. Line 1, thanks Nabsy. Line 1 will have 3 syllables. Okay, so if you just write number 3 for line 1. Line 2 will have 5 syllables. Line 3 will have 3 syllables. Line 4 will have 3 syllables again. Line 5 will have 7 syllables. And line 6 will have 5 syllables. So, with regards to the syllables in this poem, we have a 3, 5, 3, 3, 7, 5 syllable pattern. Okay. However, we're going to do what we've done previously. I'm just going to spend 5 minutes. The first poem that you write, we're not going to focus on syllables. We're just going to focus on words. So line 1 will be 3 words. Line 2 will be 5 words. Line 3, 3 words. Line 4, 3 words. Line 5, 7 words. And line 6, 5 words. So still the same number, but we're just doing words, not syllables. And we're going to be writing a poem about the weather in your house. So I'll give you an example of one that I came up with last night as I was planning for the session. Now this one is syllables, this one isn't words, but you'll still get an idea for it. So I've got thunderstorms fill my living room, lightning bolts crash and fight back and forth through the hallway, and whirlwind upstairs. Okay, that's my Shidorma that I created last night. So you're now going to write a poem. Remember, not counting syllables for the first one, just words. And you're going to be talking about weather in either your household or just people's household in general. And like I say, if you want to, you can use the weather as an overarching metaphor for the mood that exists within some people's households. If you're happy with that, give me a thumbs up. Any questions, let me know in the comments. We're on 20 past 11 now, so we'll do this until 25 past 11, and then we'll do one with the syllables as well. Okay, so the 6 lines of this poem will have 3 words, 5 words, 3 words, 3 words, 7 words, 5 words. Okay. Any issues, just ask me. So again, in case you missed the one I did, even though this one isn't words, this one is just syllables, but I put thunderstorms fill my living room, lightning bolts crash and fight back and forth through the hallway, and whirlwind upstairs. So that was my one. I'll try and do a word one really quickly as well. if you do get a word Shadorma as well, then get it in the comments so we can read it. 2 minutes left. Okay. Anxious tornado carpet covers the stern hot floor, wooden doors delighted, open messy bedroom, tranquil is the lavender pillow for sleep, ward off breeze, snugly duvet. Love it. Love that opening line as well. Anxious tornado carpet. That feels like the opening line to a much bigger poem that you've probably got buried inside of you somewhere now. So anxious tornado carpet. I like that. That's good. Now this is much better than mine. This is one I quickly came up with. I got, because the syllable Shadorma one is maybe a little bit depressing, I thought I'd try and do one a little bit more uplifting and smiley. So I put, the sunshine smiles inside of my safe place. Sweet birds chirp songs from home, which fill the walls with comforts, and rainbows bake in the kitchen. So that's my one. I do like the idea of just walking into the kitchen and there you are, got rainbows baking clouds. Okay, so what I want us to do now then is pretty much the same thing as what you just did, but just with the syllables now. So not a word Shadorma, a syllable Shadorma. So for the final time, I'll read out the initial Shadorma that I created, and we'll kind of count the syllables as we go. So we've got thunderstorms fill my living room, lightning bolts crash and fight, back and forth through the hallway, and whirlwind upstairs. So that's that sort of traditional Shadorma, if you like. So if for any reason you're a little bit put off with syllables, then stick to a word Shadorma, that's fine. However, I'd say however you feel about it, just go for a syllable one and just push yourself. But yeah, so if you do just want to stick to the Shadorma words, you can. But now try and do, we've got 10 minutes, maybe just less, 9 or so minutes. Okay, so we've got about 10 minutes to do a syllable shadorma, where again we're imagining weather inside of a house. So try and make it a little bit different to the one that you've just created. It doesn't have to be the complete opposite, but you know how I did the opposites. I did quite a stormy thunderstorm fighting for my syllable shadorma, and then I did a sunshine smiley sort of bird singing one for my word shadorma. So whatever your word shadorma was about, see, just to challenge yourself a little bit and to step out of your comfort zone, see if you can do one with a slightly different feel to it. In my house there is lots of weather. We're cooking up a huge storm in the kitchen, and it's raining popcorn in the lounge, my favourite place. Love it, Maya, that's amazing. Cooking up a storm in the kitchen and raining popcorn in the lounge. I like it. I want an invite the next time it's raining popcorn. Especially if it's toffee popcorn. Just be like that. Calm, tranquil. The eye of the storm. My bedroom. Downstairs, opposite. The playroom is a whirlwind. Fun, games, equal chaos. Love it. Rebecca, that's so good. I don't know if that's yours or Max's. That's amazing. I can really imagine that as well. The playroom is a whirlwind. I can imagine that, just walking in and just toys everywhere. My best mate's got a young daughter, and they've got like a supermarket inside of their playroom, like a little play supermarket, and she always wants to take you into the shop and scan all the stuff for you, and yeah, it can end up a bit whirlwind like. So mixture, that's cool. Teamwork makes the dream work. But that's amazing, Max, well done. And because for that one, Beck, you've got the syllables, flip it this time then. If you haven't got a word shadorma, do a word one now. So that 3 words in the first line, 5 in the second, so on and so forth, if you haven't done that already. I was just researching last night some of the things that I could do with you today, and some of the topics that we could talk about, and I found this in an article that I was reading about describing the weather in a house, and then I kind of put my twist, my spin on it a little bit with using it as a metaphor to describe moods and emotions that exist within people's houses. But I really liked the idea of weather being not just in a house, but having different types of weather in different rooms throughout the house. I thought it was quite a unique thing to do. We've got about 5 more minutes, so there's no rush. I say each week, it doesn't matter if you haven't finished by the time our time finishes, but there's another session on the Active Wellbeing page at 12 o'clock, so I want to give them plenty of time to log in and set up and stuff as well. I wonder, and if any of you know this, then let me know. But there must be, I imagine, but I've never come across it. I wonder if there are any forms of poetry that originated in Africa that we could explore. Because like I said at the beginning of the video, we looked at poems from America, looked at poems from Britain and Ireland, looked at poems from across Europe, so today's Spain, done Italy with the sonnets, France, we've looked at some French poetry, done Japan, sort of over China and the East, with our haikus and tankas and stuff. So I've got plenty of ideas of things that I can do with you over the next few weeks, but we've covered so many forms of poetry from different areas of the world. I wonder if there are any African styles of poetry that we can look into. I'll have a look, leave it with me. I'm kind of thinking out loud here. A quick research. Also as well, you know the Fibonacci poems where we created poem using the Fibonacci sequence. I've got another maths sort of maths syllable sequence poem that we can create as well, so I'm going to do that one of the weeks as well. That'll be fun. Any of your syllable shadomas, if you can, start typing them up in the comments, because I've got to be logged off within the next 5 minutes, and of course want to get a chance to read them all and whatnot. So if you can start to 4 minutes now, if you can start to type up your poems, if you feel comfortable and confident enough to share them, then type up your syllable shadomas, even if it's just where you're at so far. If you haven't finished yet, you can say, these are my first 4 lines, I'm thinking of the last 2. Maybe someone in the comments can chip in and help out. The previous sessions, Nabsy, should be on the Active Wellbeing Society Facebook page. I think they may be on their YouTube as well, but I'm not 100% sure. But if you, when we finish this video, if you go onto the Active Wellbeing Society Facebook page, scroll down a little bit, click videos. It will have all the videos that they've been doing, the yoga, the Pilates, the boxercise, everything they've been doing over previous weeks. And if you just scroll down, we were every Tuesday. I was, obviously, apart from today. So yeah, if you scroll through, each session's about 30 to 40 minutes. So not a great deal of time if you're just looking to create a little bit more and explore and experience other forms of poetry. Then yeah, we've done a lot. We really have. Lounge is calm, great for reading and watching our family place. Unlike the busy kitchen, pots simmering, food frying, oven baking, ready to munch and crunch. Love it. Got a little bit of an internal rhyme. That's called, Max. Well done. That's amazing. Again, I can imagine the busy kitchen, everything happening. Something's cooking over here, something's simmering there, something's boiling over there, and someone's running around like headless chicken, making everything taste good. I can imagine it. Let's read Nabs's poem. Comfy chair, sat in the corner, chilled, watching Netflix film, driven to the organised kitchen to make a snack. Yeah, it's like what I was saying, Nabs, organised kitchen, definitely. I love the personification of the comfy chair just sat in the corner. I like that. It's snowing toys in the playroom, and the hail falls in lumps. There's a whirlwind of clothes in my cold bedroom. Yes, a whirlwind of clothes. I know all about that. I've got like a Mount Everest of clothes. So I haven't got enough wardrobe space. I'm telling you. Snowing toys in the playroom. I know I say it every week. Like I'm never going to turn around and say anyone's been rubbish and stuff. So I say every week how well you've done. But I think you've come out with some amazing ideas today. I'm really impressed with what everybody's been coming up with, from adults to kind of late teenagers to the young children that have been with us. I think you've come out with some amazing ideas, and I think it's that subject of the weather, being in the house, has made us think outside. It's made us think outside of the box a little bit. So try and keep that thought process. If you do create any more, then feel free to send them to me. I know many of you do send me stuff every week, and I love reading it. So if you do keep writing and creating any more, then do. Next week we are back to Tuesdays. We've only had to change it this week because I was at school yesterday doing a summer school session, my poetry with punch stuff, with a graffiti artist and a music producer that are on my team. So that's the only reason we had to change it to Wednesday this week. Next week we are back to Tuesday, probably 12 o'clock again, but check the schedule, and I always post about it the night before as well. Also, I've got my boxer size on the Active Wellbeing Society at 4 o'clock tomorrow. It's not elite, so if you think, oh, I'm not very fit, then that's fine. That's perfect for you. Okay, so if you want to do a little bit of boxing with me tomorrow at 4 p.m, then I will be back here, only downstairs where there's a bit more room. All right, so that's it. Thank you again for joining me. I really appreciate it. Hopefully we can see this through the 6 weeks holiday, and then I imagine when we're back at school then from September, that will probably be it. But hopefully we can get through the 6 weeks with a few more sessions. So thank you again for joining me. Nabs, been great to have you again as well, so hopefully I'll see you again next week. Check out some of the other sessions from previous weeks, and yeah, thank you very much everybody. Stay safe, and I will see you again tomorrow or next week. Goodbye.